You see, I'm trying in all my stories to get the feeling of the actual life across, not just depict life or criticize it, but to actually make it alive. So that when you have read something by me, you actually experience the thing. You can't do this without putting in the bad and the ugly, as well as what is beautiful. Ernest Hemingway.
Hey friends, welcome back to The Sipping Bird. Today's episode, we are going to do the Hemingway Daiquiri. Hemingway Daiquiri's got white rum, maraschino liqueur, grapefruit juice, lime juice, simple syrup, and we're gonna shake that up and serve it up as well. Let's get right into it. All right, so in the bottom portion of our shaker, we're gonna add 2 ounces of white rum. Today's rum is a Ron Añejo Botran Reserva Blanca, and this one is from Guatemala. We're gonna go with 2 ounces of this. 2 ounces right into your mixing part of your shaker. We're gonna go with 1/2 ounce of maraschino liqueur. Maraschino liqueur is made, in this case, this is Luxardo. It's made from maraschino cherries. And unlike what the name implies, because it's cherries, it's not as sweet as you would anticipate it to be. 1/2 ounce of Luxardo maraschino liqueur. We're gonna go with 1/2 ounce of freshly squeezed grapefruit juice. So 1/2 ounce on that. And then we need fresh lime juice. We're gonna go with 3/4 ounce fresh lime juice on this. 3/4 ounce of fresh lime juice. And lastly, we need just 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. I use a 2-to-1 ratio simple syrup. That just means 2 portions of sugar to 1 portion of water. Some people use 1-to-1. I like the texture of 2-to-1. It's a little thicker. I think it gives a better mouthfeel, but you can use what you like. I'm gonna go with 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Okay, now we're just gonna shake this up. We're gonna shake this up, and just remember, you're shaking it for 3 reasons. You're mixing it up, you're diluting it, and you're dropping the temperature down so that it's nice and cool for you. Let's just go. Right away, I'm smelling some of that maraschino liqueur. Very potent. It smells delicious. So we're gonna empty our cocktail glass. It's been chilling. And I'm gonna double strain this because it has citrus, so we just wanna avoid some of those citrus pulp as well as the seeds. Make sure we have a nice, clean cocktail. Looks gorgeous. All right, Hemingway Daiquiri. The Hemingway Daiquiri was named after Mr. Ernest Hemingway. And the story goes that he spent a lot of time in Cuba, Havana to be specific. And he would wake up in the morning for inspiration to write, and he would begin writing. That was his preferred time to work. But by the afternoon, the sweltering Havana sun would just get too hot. So what better way to cool someone down than to pop over to a bar and have a nice, cool, refreshing cocktail? Well, I guess he decided to go to a famous bar called La Floridita, which the rumor is that when he entered the bar, he saw the famous bartender, I am forgetting his name, but he was serving up rounds of daiquiris, classic daiquiris. So Mr. Hemingway, true to himself, couldn't resist taking a sip of one of these daiquiris, and his reaction was, "It's great, but I would double the rum and omit the sugar." So Mr. Hemingway was famous and notorious for wanting cocktails that were potent and with a punch. So what ended up happening is the bartender created something which later evolved into what is the Hemingway, but that one was called Papa Doble, because Mr. Hemingway, because he frequented the bar, had a name coined after him, which was Papa, which means daddy, for his gray hair and beard. And so they made a drink that was called Papa Doble, which was rum, lime juice, and a little simple syrup. It later evolved into what it is now, the Hemingway Daiquiri with the maraschino, and it meant grapefruit, and in my opinion, I think it's refreshing and cool, and we're about to find out. But I would like to garnish this. Normally, I would take the peel of a grapefruit. I don't have a grapefruit today, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a dehydrated slice of a lime. Why am I doing that? Because I feel that although in Cuba at the time, it would probably be fresh fruit being used, what better way to symbolize Mr. Hemingway being dehydrated from the hot Havana sun, right, as a lime, and walking into La Floridita and having one of these beautiful cocktails served to him to help him hydrate. So this is homage to Mr. Hemingway. Let's get right to tasting this. Guys, this drink is refreshing, it's bright. I get that maraschino right in the front, tapered off with the lime and sort of the sweetness of the simple syrup. Comes together so well. This is a drinkable drink. This is a drink that, had I been a writer in the 30s in Havana, Cuba, being dehydrated, I would want to drink a couple of these. But here's the thing. Mr. Hemingway was notorious for drinking those drinks I told you about, the Papa Doble. And rumor has it that he would put down 6 to 9 in a normal afternoon. I guess record indicates that he went up to 16 in one evening. Because really love the inspiration from those Papa Dobles. And I can see why. These are easy to put back. But Mr. Hemingway he was quoted for saying that if you wanted to discover the culture of a particular place, and this is in so many words, that you needed to spend the night in its bars. And I think to that, I say cheers. All right, friends, if you liked what I did here today, if you like what I'm doing with my channel, please hit like on this video. Better yet, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification icon to receive notifications on my latest content. Also, use the comment section below. If you want to hear something, or if you want to see something, a request, or you want to talk about a cocktail, let's do it. Cheers, guys. And here's my cat Mocha, making her cameo. Mwah.